Hello, Danish. Hello, Caitlin. Hello, Nicole. How are things? All right, now the time is 7:30 already. All right, now the time is 7:30 already. Let's begin the lesson. All right, so just now I was chatting with the rest of the class, right? I was asking them when is the end of year exam date. All right, when is the end of year exam date? If you know the end of year exam date, right, can you please let me know? All right, you can either drop me a message in my phone or you can even drop in the chat. All right, if you manage to receive your end of year exam date already. Is that okay? All right, hello Ali, hello. All right, so come, let's go into today's lesson. So we will always do a question, a homework question from last week, right? Yeah. So this was your homework question for last week. Okay. So last week, right, we were doing the volume of a cylinder, the surface area and all this. All right, so last week we were doing all this type of question. So let me just give you a quick recall by using this question. Let's take a look. All right, so yep. Okay, y'all can see the question, right? Y'all can hear me loud and clear? Can? Lavon can hear me? Chen Fu can hear me, right? Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. All right, come, let's take a look at this question first. To wash a solid conical toy, conical means it's a cone. All right, yeah. All right, conical toy means it's a cone of radius 1.25 meter. So this is a cone of radius 1.25 meter is down here. Children, my advice to you, read the paragraph, look at the diagram. Read the paragraph, look at the diagram. Don't just immediately jump into the diagram. All right, because down here got clues one. All right, down here got clues one. Can? All right, so the height is 3 meter. The height of the cone is 3 meter is given. Ben, not burn, Ben lowers it into a cylinder container whose base radius is 2.5 meter. All right. Hello, Zhen Yi. Hello. All right. So moving on, the container then begins to fill with water until the vertex. Vertex means down here, the top part. All right. The top part is called vertex of the toy until it's fully covered. It is then removed from the container. Okay. So what is happening? So inside the container, right? All right, actually is no water one. Inside the container actually got no water. Then he put in the cone. All right, he put in the cone. After that, then he pour in water. All right, when he pour in the water, he reached the vertex of the cone. After that, then he removed the cone. Understand or not? Can, huh? All right. So calculate the total surface area of the cone. So children, you need to know what? You need to know the formula for total surface area. This topic is all about formula. All right. So TSA, right? Total surface area of cone is given as what? Sure. What is the meaning of surface area, children? Surface area is the place that you can touch. You can touch the curvy part of the cone, right? You can touch the curvy part of the cone. You can also touch the base of the cone. All right, so these are the two places you can touch the cone, the curvy part and the base. So total surface area actually represents the curved surface area, right? It actually represents the curved surface area of the cone plus what? Plus the bottom, right? Plus the bottom. So the bottom is actually the base area. Can? And what is the formula for the curved surface area of the cone? It is given as pi RL. L represents the what? Slant height. Right, so it's all about formulas, children. Once you get the what? Formula out right? Then you will be able to solve these questions easily. What is the base area? Base area, right? The base of a cone is a circle. So it's simply pi r squared lah. Cannot. All right, so I purposely write out the formula so that I can substitute exactly. Look out for the value of pi, got or not? Did the question say pi as 3.142? Never say, So you use your calculator's pi. What is the radius? What is the radius of the cone, not the cylinder? We are talking about the cone here. All right, so this is the cone here. The red color here is the cone, children. All right, this part is the cone. All right, and the radius is 1.25. That's called the radius of the cone. So down here, I put in 1.25. What is the slant height? All right. Yes, Chen Feng, go. Yeah, no problem. Chen Feng. Chen Feng, just remember that this lesson is being recorded. You can come and visit this lesson again. Can? Can, yeah. Good job. All right, good. All right, so down here, right, where is the slant height? The slant height is actually this green color line down here. All right, the slant height is actually this green color line down here. Why is this called the slant height? It's slanting lah, yeah. Can you see that this portion is slanting? Right, can you see the this portion? This line is actually slanted, what? That's called the slant height. So usually when we call the height of the cone, right, we are talking about this one. Right, this is the height of the cone, which is perpendicular towards the radius of the cone. The green line is called the slant height. Hey, what do you see? You can see something called Pythagoras theorem, right? Yeah. So if you can see Pythagoras theorem, you have to activate Pythagoras theorem automatically. Okay? So what did Pythagoras theorem say? Pythagoras theorem say that the long square is actually equal to the short square plus the short square. Can you see that? How do you find the L? L is actually equal to the square root of, down here I will purposely press my calculator, 1.25 squared plus 3 squared. That will give me a 10.5625. All right. So what is L? You can square root of that. It will give you an answer of 3.25. All right. Children, please remember one thing. Every time you square root, right, there will be a plus and minus sign. Down here, remember to reject the negative 3.25. All right. Must reject. Negative 3.25 is being rejected. Is that okay? So the L, which is the slant height, is 3.25 meter. I will put it into my diagram. So now I managed to find my slant height, 3.25. I'll put it inside here. Can you see? So much information. What is the pi? Use your calculator's pi. What is the radius? Radius of the cone is 1.25 square. And what do you do, children? Just press your calculator from left to right. Press your calculator from left to right. 1.25 times pi times 3.25 plus pi times 1.25 squared. Right, and the answer will all comes out as 17.671458. All right. By default, you must give it to 3SF. Question never say. Can you see not? Question never say. You have to give it to 3SF. Because this number here is a what? This number here is an irrational number. All right, it's an irrational number because of the pi. All right, you give it to 3SF. 17.7 meter, 3SF. Hey, sure, they're looking for area. Yeah, sorry, 17.7 meter square. Can you see that? So this is your presentation. Is this okay? All right, so for the students who are coming in today as a trial students, yes. Hey, hi, my name is Ben Ong. All right, so this question is actually from the last week's homework. All right, this question is actually from the last week's homework. Hello, Sherman, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so this question is actually from the last week's homework. Last week, we are actually doing something called the volume and surface area of the cone, the pyramid, and the sphere. So this week, right, we are focusing on something called probability. All right, this week we are focusing on something called probability. This was last week's homework. All right, and children, just to let you know a little highlight, right? This week we'll be doing probability. Next week we'll be doing something called statistics. All right, next week we'll be doing something called statistics where we talk about something called stem and leaf and also the dot diagram. All right, and if time permit, we'll go into something called the 3Ms. Right, 3Ms. Mean, medium, mode. Then after that, right, honestly, the Sec 2 syllabus all finished already. All right, then we will be starting on something called revision for your end of year exam. Yes, this year got end of year exam. All right, don't have mid-year, I know, but got end of year exam. All right, so for the end of year exam revision, right, we'll be doing about 10 questions of what? Of various topics. So a little bit about area and perimeter, a little bit about congruous and similar, a little bit about Pythagoras theorem, a little bit about algebraic fraction, a little bit about special algebraic rules, a little bit about math and scales, a little bit of everything. Understand or not? All right, so this is how the lesson will be going for the next few lessons, just to let you know. Oh, and I know that some of you, the WA for math is already over. All right, so just now some of you already gave me the score. Not bad. All right, some of you actually did quite well for your WA. All right, if you have your scores with you, right, you can actually let me know how much you score. All right, go to the chat and just type in what is your score, what is your grades for your WA3, if you don't mind. Can? Ah, yeah, Natalie, what happened? Oh my goodness. Okay, shock. Alright, so Natalie, oh my goodness, Natalie, what happened? Okay, never mind, later I message you privately. Oh, you're sick on that day. Oh my goodness. Ali, what happened? Oh no. Oh no, Zenith, is it? Zenith? That score is upon what? Upon 100 or what? Zenith. You give me the score. Yeah, I saw that score, but it's upon what? Whoa, okay. I see. Wow, such a big paper. Oh my goodness. Right, Natalie, you got a reason for that. Okay, you're sick lah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So children, as I say to you many times already, try to stay healthy. All right, as you can hear from my voice, right, I'm also feeling a bit of the flu in my nose right now. Yeah, so I also not very healthy lah. So I call you to be healthy. I also not healthy. Ay, yeah. All right, so children, please drink more water. All right, take some vitamin C if you need to, and try to stay healthy because exam is coming. All right, and once you get sick, right, it's very hard to focus on the paper one. Oh, so please take care of yourself a little bit more. Can? Okay, so yeah, maybe later I will talk to a few of the students. All right, maybe Ali also want to talk to you a little bit. Yeah. Okay, can. Okay, so moving on, let's talk a little bit about this question. What is the volume of the water in the cylinder container? All right, so remember they pour water, right? They pour water until what height? They pour water until the height of the cone, the vertex of the cone. That's what the question say, right? So 3 meter worth of water is poured inside. 3 meter worth of water is poured inside. Can? So what's the volume of the water in the cylinder container? All right, so we can actually find the total volume down here first until 3 meter. Then we minus away the volume of the cone. Can you see not? Because they are just looking for the water. All right, you must be very clear what they are looking for. Can? So let's go and find the volume of the container of the cylinder first until 3 meter. Oops. So we can say a volume of cylinder, all right, which is equal to, what's the volume of cylinder? Yes, it's the base area pi r squared times height. So pi, right, we are using the calculator's pi. The radius, be careful. We are using the container, the cylinder container, which is 2.5 meter. And the height is 3 meter. Can you see that? Because it pours until the vertex of the cone. The vertex of the cone, the height of the cone is 3 meter. All right, so this one, we can actually press the calculator. Pi, use your calculator's pi times 2.5 times 2.5 times 3. All right, and your answer will be 58.90486. But again, right, what did happen? What happened just now? They removed the cone, They removed the cone. All right, so you must actually what? You must actually less out the volume of the cone, right? Because you're looking for the water, right? Volume of water. Yeah, you are looking for the volume of water in the cylinder. All right, so you must actually take out the cone. 58.90486 must less out the volume of cone. And how do you find the volume of cone? All right, volume of cone formula is given as 1 over 3 pi r squared h. All right, so I purposely write out all these formulas so that I can see things clearly. So when I do my substitution, right, I will not have any careless mistake. Can? So 58.90486 is here. Minus away the volume of the cone, which is 1 over 3 times pi. What is the radius of the cone? Yes, 1.25 squared. And the height of the cone is 3. All right, if you press everything into your calculator, all in. All right, you press everything into the calculator, all in. What do you get? All right, so minus 1 over 3 times pi times 1.25 squared times 3. All right, you'll get a 53.9961. Write out a few decimal places first, then give an approximate sign. 53 point, oh, 3SF, 54.0. 54.0 cm cube. 3SF. All right. Sure, the question never say, yeah. All right. If it is an irrational number, right, you have to round it off to 3SF already. This is called an irrational number. Irrational number means it cannot express as a fraction, right? The decimal very long one. So your answer is actually 54.0. The 0.0 must write, children. The 0.0 must write. Can? Meter cube. Is that okay? Next one. The final depth of the water in the container after the cone is removed. All right. So actually, right, it was filled up to 3 meters, right? The story tells us it's supposed to fill up to 3 meters. But now